Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's topic on strategies for tomorrow's cybersecurity. I, Ms. Janika, will be talking on this today. Securely 7 is a cybersecurity company that provides IT solutions or security solutions to different parts of industries such as technology, health, and finance, etc. We provide various services, which some include cloud application security assessment, red teaming assessment, mobile and web application vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, and so on. Well, about me, I'm a security consultant with Securely 7, a cybersecurity enthusiast, and a researcher, a recently certified OSCP, a casual CTF player, and in areas of expertise that I have in are web, mobile, network, and API VAPT. Today we are going to look onto some important topics such as importance of cybersecurity with business perspective, understand what you need from cybersecurity, know your data and identify areas of risks, understand the threats and risks, modern reliable cloud alternative, importance of encrypting the data, use of strong passwords, maintenance, scheduling backups, educating and training employees, and at the end, some expert advice. Well, to be honest, internet is everywhere. Internet has changed the way we used to live and communicate in our lives. It has completely transformed the way companies also work. These digital technologies have some incredible benefits which has made our lives easier and comfortable. But every advantage has its own disadvantage, as they say. Cybersecurity is a major issue for every business, whether you're running a multinational organization or a local company. When it comes to cybersecurity, there is no such thing as being too careful. Cybercrime is rapidly on the rise, and there's a lot of financial loss. It's a fact that worldwide there is a lack of knowledge about cybersecurity. With the increasing adoption of digital technologies, data risks are a growing concern. Learn the key strategies, include cybersecurity as a part of an overall enterprise risk management. In today's world, that has become a mandatory. But in order to have a good strategy, we need to understand where do we lie in. Well, in this case, we have two types of scenarios. One scenario, we can say that a company is already being compromised by a cybersecurity breach, and the other company, we can say, that is yet to be compromised. Just don't know when. Every organization is vulnerable. Every organization should act as though it is vulnerable. That's not just a good IT strategy, but also a good business strategy. Know what you need from your cybersecurity. The cybersecurity strategy is designed to achieve the two most important things. Firstly, it should protect your business from external threats. And secondly, it should minimize the risk of employees that are negligent and are exposing sensitive data to hackers. These kind of people or employees can be in or around the organization. Cybersecurity is an evolving arms race that may seem a little overwhelming or for some IT fields or IT teams as well. Learning that antivirus software and a firewall is no longer sufficient protection, and it can be a bit intimidating. A cyber risk assessment removes the need for a team to determine every potential cyber vulnerability in the plant. The assessment can help identify, document, prioritize, and build a roadmap around the highest threat vulnerabilities. This roadmap provides a guide for creating solutions to quickly provide a sufficient security plan. Know your data and identify risk areas. Well, it is essential for a company to know what kind of data they have, what kind of services they are providing, what kind of products they are delivering to their client, and what kind of data they are storing at their end. What kind of data should be given priority in terms of protection? After gaining the complete knowledge of data, it is necessary to understand and identify sensitive data and the areas of risk. Identifying the areas of risk will help you in strategizing the good and the correct plan for security. Understanding the threats and risks. Make sure you understand the impact of any disaster, be it in a security breach or a malware infection on your operations or even in your system. Being practical and knowing about how huge it can create an impact of security breach on the business is really necessary. It can lead to misuse of sensitive information. It can also use lack of confidentiality, lack of integrity. You lose trust in the clients, and of course, at the end, there's a huge financial loss. So, understanding these impacts and being practical about it is really very important. Modern reliable cloud alternative. Well, traditional IT practices, which include buying or purchasing, installing, and maintaining your maintaining IT framework on devices on site. For many years, the traditional IT framework has been used in the business to collect, store, process data for various functions. Traditional infrastructure does allow you to implement a plan for data security. This means that you have the freedom to determine which security devices you'll purchase, how to manage network controls, how to best respond to incoming threats, and so on and so forth. But nowadays we have cloud security. Cloud security platforms such as Cisco and Cloudflare are now offering general security cloud platforms which can protect your client or users from different threats with fully transparent inline network traffic analysis. They not just aware you about malware, but web-based exploits, malicious websites, phishing campaigns, or even internal data leaks, you will be warned. They even give you protection and detection that protects computers from malware using the cloud not only for management but also for security purpose. Encryption of the data. Encryption is a cybersecurity measure that protects private and personal data through use of unique code that scramble the data and make it impossible for intruders to read. The reason being, it's a pretty straightforward concept. An encryption key with a specific encryption algorithm is used to translate the plain text data into an unreadable data, which is also called as the ciphertext. The scrambled data can only be decoded using the corresponding encryption key, so intruders will not be able to read the data when they get past the system security measures. Encryption of business data is one of the most effective ways to protect data. The reason being, encryption is a translation of data in such a way that only the authorized parties have access to it. Those who are not authorized do not have access to the data. You can in short say that it is one of the best possible ways to ensure and maintain data security. The use of strong passwords. Strong passwords. We all use passwords for authentication, but according to the research, 73% of users have the same password for multiple sites. Using these same password increases the risk of cyber threats as attackers can easily use this information to log into different accounts. Choosing strong password is really essential, and it is the main barrier keeping most of your online accounts from being hacked. Without up-to-date practices, you might be using passwords that cyber frauds can easily guess within hours. Exposing yourself to identity theft and extortion is a risk you should never take. You will need to create passwords that can fight modern password theft methods. A good suggestion would be using a lowercase character, an uppercase character, numbers, special characters, and a blank space. You can it is of course it is difficult to store these passwords, to remember these passwords. So you can always use password managing tools and store your passwords there. Maintenance. Well, updating antivirus and anti-spyware or any software that you and your company or your business uses, updating them to a regular interval is crucial. Set up your systems in such a way that they automatically download the crucial patches when they become available. Maintaining your hardware and replace or repair a faulty equipment whenever necessary. We do not want to take a risk that this becomes a reason or an entry point for an attacker. Make a goal to always monitor your Wi-Fi network because you may never know what suspicious activity you might encounter. So it's always a good practice to monitor your Wi-Fi network. Scheduling backups. Make sure that you back up all the important data and system processes at regular intervals. Automate backups whenever possible so that you don't forget about them. Backup schedules are essential IT activities as they ensure several important activities are performed. This, for example, disaster recovery, start times and completion times for all regular backups should be defined. The schedule must include all data backup activities, including testing activities as well. Restore files that are accidentally deleted. Definitely they do help because it has happened with all of us, right? We accidentally have deleted some of the most important things or maybe some of the most important information. But if we have a scheduled backup and even if we accidentally delete it, we always can rely on that backup. Plan out how frequently you want your backup, where you want to store it, maybe in a cloud or in a hard copy. Educating or training employees. Well, at the end of the day, your employees are your biggest asset. The business or the company runs just by the employees that we have in our company. Therefore, it is essential that you educate and train your employees about cybersecurity. Give security awareness education to all employees. Teach them about different online threats. Train them about phishing. Train them about having a good practice of not sharing their OTPs to a third party or an unknown source. You can also ask them to be aware of fraudulent emails. Train them and tell them the importance of having strong passwords and why it is crucial to maintain these strong passwords. Inform them about their computer rights. Realize them about their responsibilities and how important or how huge difference their role can be in protecting the business data. Expert advice. Well, expert advice is always a good practice, always comes in handy. You can always ask for companies that provide security solutions. You can always ask for services for penetration testing and vulnerability assessment. You can also ask for red teaming that help you to find out the loopholes or entry points for attackers to get in, and this can help you to avoid your business to be a victim of the data breach or of the security breach. Thank you all for attending my talk or my webinar on strategies for tomorrow's cybersecurity. I hope everyone has learned and everyone has now taken responsibility of protecting their data. Well, we can just do our best and we can add from our end to protect our data. Thank you so much. Please do take cybersecurity very seriously. You can be a target of it any moment. Thank you.